Joseph. This is pretty much going to be a video of my testimony. A shorter version. But pretty much in the beginning, I was raised to give up myself and to serve another's, happiness. I was denied who I am, and my confidence and my self-esteem is pretty much destroyed. So right from the beginning, I was taught to give everything to everyone and keep nothing for myself. So pretty much that led to failed relationship after failed relationship after failed relationship, until I finally got to my ex-fiancée, and she totally took advantage of my good heart, my good nature, my ethics, and my values. And I'm kind of like the frog that doesn't know the water's going, hotter and hotter and then boiling eventually till you're dead. It pretty much same thing happened to me. In the beginning, I didn't really drink. I just smoked weed to deal with the stress in my life. But it started with 3 beers, then I moved to 6, then to 12, and then 30 packs. And then she got me into, doing cocaine. In the beginning, it was just one here, one there. Ultimately, until the end, we were spending over $1,000 to $1,500 in a weekend, just binging and partying. Then when we got to that point, her real colors started showing. For the whole relationship, it escalated. She was like verbally abusive, pretty much carrying on what my mother started, but just amplifying it. Tried to, in the beginning, then separated me from my family, turned me against them, made me resent them, filled me with her hate, which is pretty much the same thing my mother did, filled me with hatred of my friends, and isolated and separated me from them, my support system. And then once she isolated me, and then it was just me and her and my kids living in a rural area, like small community, where I was surrounded by her family. Then she didn't want me making any friends. Apparently, me making friends was a threat. Then not too long after that, she became abusive, started hitting me. And then me being, kind-hearted man that I am, and I genuinely loved her, yet she has no idea what love is. In the end said, I'm just going to use you as a punching bag. So as I kept trying to maintain a happy home, cleaning up, I got to the point, it was kind of funny though, where in the middle of our arguments, she would throw things around, like smash plates, do all kinds of stuff just to make my life harder, so I'd have to keep, cleaning to keep, the home together. I just started cleaning in the middle of our arguments, which just frustrated her even more. And as I was reaching the end of the relationship, she started getting into harder drugs, started running away, not coming back for, weekends, and then it turned into weeks at a time, and then I found out she was getting into meth. And near the end, I said, we have to do something, we're going too far, so we went to treatment. And that's the beginning for me where it all started turning around. I started having my self-esteem and confidence rebuilt. I was told that I don't have to do what other people want, that I can think for myself and do for myself. And she kind of got the hint because my behavior started changing. She said she at the time said she was really happy that I was finding myself. But on the inside, I think she knew that the relationship at that point was ending. I didn't really know if I had a place to come home to because she turned me against my family. So there was a doubt in my mind, and I stayed with her longer. And then I just one day decided I can't do this anymore. It's just too much. Not only for me, it's just my kids are witnessing all this, and what is it doing to them? And I literally thought I was dying. It felt like my body was shutting down, my kidneys and everything was just, felt like it was, going, and soon I'd be gone. And the most terrifying thought was, if I'm not here to protect them from, her and the way she does things, and she doesn't love them at all, how are they going to be treated? So I had to leave. I thought, well, if this is the end for me, fine. Like, I could take responsibility for my choices. I can, go home and die. But when I'm gone, I at least want my mom to take care of them. She wasn't the best. She did a lot to start my, fall into where I was. But she was a lot more kinder and gentler than the ex-fiance, who just pretty much tried to destroy me spiritually. I think she was demon possessed, to be honest. Then I came back home. And then just got him, spent like weeks in the basement kind of purging. Finally, when you get into a safe space, all those emotions you hold in that you don't feel comfortable letting out because no one's going to hear, no one's going to care, I pretty much started letting it out. And I started giving it to God. Started talking to him and saying, like, I really don't want to die. Like, it's not about me, it's about my kids. I don't know who's going to take care of them the way I do. I was like, so all I could do is take responsibility. I was like, I know all those choices I made were mine, and I can't blame you. You did nothing. I was like, so what I need you to do is just show me how to live. Give me the strength to endure this pain, because at that time, purging pretty much a lifetime of emotions, everything from the beginning, felt like my heart and my head were exploding, like a bomb was going off every second. Felt like death in some ways too, like I was actually dying. So I said, I need to endure this. I hid everything from my kids. I cried in the basement. It was pretty much non-stop crying from morning till night, laying in the dark, just being in the dark. Then after, I don't know, maybe a month, I just asked God, like, give me the strength to endure this. I was like, I know this is my pain. I know I earned it, and I know, like, it's not going away. I was like, but give me the strength to get through this. Show me how. I was like, then it turned into, give me the wisdom so that I can recognize this kind of pattern in the future, so I know what to do not to fall into it again, and I know how to be a better human being. Then after that turned into, give me the courage to act on all these lessons that you're teaching me, to to carry on and to do your will according to how I should live. Like, what's your plan for me? It's like, because clearly, look at how I live my life. I know nothing. It's like my life is a mess, and the way I'm living, like, I just don't want to live, but I don't want to die either. So what I kind of did was just, if this is the end and I'm going to die, then at least show me what your peace is before I go. Like, if this is truly, it for me, just give me a taste of peace in life, and then I'll be happy. I'll die. It took about 3 months of praying every day, praying every day. I wasn't even eating. I was so grief-stricken that my daughter actually thought I was starving. I just didn't want to eat, and she kept, why are you starving yourself? So whenever my daughter was home from school, I would eat like a piece of bread to show her that I was eating, even though I didn't want to. So essentially, I was fasting and praying for about a month, fasting and praying. At that time, I had no idea that's what I was doing. I was just trying to work it out with, God. How do I move forward from here? What do I have to do? I never read the Bible, never grew up in church. I just was so filled with grief and pain. I just had no hunger. I didn't want to eat, so I essentially was fasting. And the only way to work it out with God, if you didn't grow up in church or an environment like that, is to pray. So for about 2 to 3 months, that's pretty much what my life was, fasting and praying. Just every day, give me the courage, give me the wisdom, give me the strength, give me the courage, give me the wisdom, give me the strength. And then slowly but surely I started coming out of it. The pain started going away. Slowly it kind of drifted, and I was still depressed and miserable and all kinds of things, but I didn't feel like my heart was exploding and I was, dying. And then he took over, started guiding me. After started a personal relationship, praying every day. Then eventually it came to a point like, okay, well, now you have to start reading the Bible. Then I was like, okay. Never really understood it. Like, I tried reading the Bible before, it never really made sense. So it's true what they say. To those who are following the Bible's wisdom is foolishness, and that's pretty much all I thought it was. Just it seemed foreign and not right to me. But as I read more and more and more, the Bible started making sense. I started to understand more, and in the beginning I tried to focus on the Gospels, but then it turned to just whatever seems interesting. I don't know what I'm looking for, so whatever seems interesting, I'm just going to trust like that's what I'm going to need when I need it. Like, I'm going to let you guide me, or take me wherever you need me to go in the Bible. After a while of that, I started knowing more, about Scripture, about the way of life and the things you need to do. Then it was like a few months later, then it's like, okay, well, now that you're here, I have to go to church. And in the beginning, like, I made a promise, anywhere you lead me to go, I will go, like, you're in charge, and no matter how freaky and scary it is, I will do what you say. So when I first went to church, it was intense. I was scared to be around people, because my trust was gone. That had to be rebuilt. I was pretty much like Jeremiah says in Jeremiah, I was a broken vessel, and God himself was like, slowly repairing it, making me into the vessel that he sees fit. Then I told my story there because they were a part of it, but they rejected me, called it a speech. But even that, from what I understand now, is just another part of the process. It's like God will put you in situations, trials, to show you how far you've come. So even though it was kind of painful to be rejected, well, I endured, I handled it. I just considered, well, this isn't the place for me. But I had to go there, because that was a place where I played floor hockey when I was about 16 years old for about 2 or 3 years, and it felt like a home to me, which gave me the comfort to actually open up and share. Then to be rejected was like, kind of slap in the face, but if it's God's will, then that's, what I have to endure. Then I looked for another church. Then I finally found the one where I go to now. And, well, they're pretty good. The message is good, but not a lot more than the message. Just sermons, and that's it. No small groups or Bible studies. And then after going to the church, I started being around community and people again. And then started noticing that I'm not really connecting, and I couldn't understand why. Then I started realizing I can't connect to anyone because I reject love from people. And it kind of dawned on me that I also reject God's love. Like, how can I love anyone else if I don't know how to receive love? So then I started asking, God, can you show me how to receive your love? Like, I want to be someone who's loved. I never thought I was worthy of love. I was taught my whole life that I wasn't, and that I should give it to everyone else, sacrifice, myself. So